Welcome back to Whiskey Happens. I'm Garrett, that's Travis, and he's Brad. Episode 2. Guys, we only need five bourbons to rule them all. You know what I'm talking about? You guys seen this on Reddit?
Yes.
Yep.
Allegedly, all bourbon drinkers across the world only need 5 bourbons: a daily drinker, a impress your guests, cheap mixer, something great, and something for a special occasion. So we have convened our bottles and we are ready to make decisions. I guess the decisions have already been made. So
Kinda.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of one of those things that we were talking about. These are what I have on my shelf right now, not what I could potentially get my hands on. So like we could go to a whole different way with like, what could you get if you could get it on your hands on it, would you have, of course, but I like this topic. I think it's great for what you actually have when people do come to your house. Like you said, Gary, when you have people over, what are you serving people? What are you putting in your mixed drinks? What are you, impressing them with when you come over? What do people want to, really see when they come over? So
we're going to start with you, Brad.
God damn.
What is your daily driver, your go-to when you're just having a bourbon and relaxing?
So difficult. It should come no shock to anybody that my daily drinker is going to be the trusty BT. A lot of people are like, they frown upon it. They go, what are you thinking? But I believe that the Buffalo Trace is the way it's going to go for me as a daily drinker.
Why?
It used to be the easiest to get. It's just a commonplace. It's just something that is delicious. They do a great job, and I enjoy drinking it. I don't drink it straight. I got to have my ice in there. I got to have, my cup, and this is just how it has to be. Now, that's not what I'm drinking right now, but it is something that I will, pull off the shelf.
You bring up a good point though, as well, is you drink it with ice. You've also drank it with water, but you don't like it straight. You don't like it neat. So that being said, that is, something that everyone, listening out there should understand is if you drink something neat and you don't like it, try it on ice, try it with water. It gives it a completely different taste profile when you do that. So, Brad, you bring up a great point. Like sometimes things that you like, there are certain ones exactly like you. I drink neat, and then there's some that I drink on ice because I like them better on ice. Awesome. Well, how about you, Gary? What's your daily drinker?
Currently, I don't know if it's going to come as a surprise, but it shouldn't come as a surprise. It's Elijah Craig, small batch, Heaven Hill Distillery. Cheers. It's becoming springtime now. It's an easy drinker. It's coming at 94 proof. To Brad's point or delight, I do drink that on the rocks. I think it's a great little thing to just sit on my back porch, not smoke a cigar, and enjoy it and blow off a little steam after work. So there's nothing more to it. It's short and sweet. Elijah Craig, especially at the price point, at least here in Virginia, I'm getting this at around $30, readily available. I gave myself that little stipulation and challenge of everything -1 is readily available here in Virginia and or DMV area without having to go crazy to acquire it.
Yeah.
No,
that makes sense. And I'm drinking Elijah Craig right now. Love it. And just FYI, the shirt, I sent these shirts to the guys as well. This is a really cool shirt. It's from Cricket in Austin, Texas. They partnered with Elijah Craig. And what they did was all the proceeds to these shirts go to help the COVID relief fund for restaurants and bar workers. And so I thought that was really cool. Wanted to get them for the guys. So I got them for the guys, sent them out to them. And just something Elijah Craig does on this. Elijah Craig did. And I think that's a really cool partnership they did with Cricket shirts. And is Elijah Craig just your daily drink because it's easy to get, or is that really just something that price point, easy to get, just it's kind of all those, or is it that plus the fact that it's the flavor profile you like?
Well, the flavor profile helps. So I'm not the in looking at this, I would say, except for one, maybe I lean heavier on weeded items, but I don't think that for me, it's just approachability. I think anyone starting day one bourbon can drink this. I don't think that anyone's going to be like, oh, it's too complex, it's too hot, or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's right in the middle. I am a fan of obviously the barrel proof, toasted, 18. Any of the ones that I don't see on the shelf, but
the first time that I had Elijah Craig would be what you just said. It's something easy to do. It was great. It tasted great. I thought I was going to hate it, honestly. I haven't had the toasted barrel, but one day, hopefully soon. Hopefully I will get to taste this one day.
It's awesome.
I did find this over here. I know that it might be hard to get over there, but I did find some over here in Germany. And I hope to try that out one time, because I definitely did enjoy the Elijah Craig. It was pretty good.
So,
all right, Travis, how about your daily drinker?
So my daily drinker is the Michter's small batch bourbon. So this one for me is I actually just got this first time I had it was about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And I love it neat. I love it I love it hands down. It's one of the better bourbons I've had in a long time. Now in Texas, it's not that easy to find. Like it is, but it isn't, but it's not like secondary prices. It's definitely, you can go to any liquor store here, and if they have it, it's about 50 or 60 bucks. It's not super cheap. And so I wouldn't say it's something that it's in everyone's price point for a daily drinker, but this is what I prefer to drink on a daily basis. And as you can tell, I've been drinking a lot of it, and I've been drinking it neat every time. I haven't tried it on the rocks actually as much. I've had it one time on the rocks, and it was like the first time or second or third time I had it. And I didn't really pay attention to it. I was just drinking it because I enjoyed it. But I really typically drink it neat. So
which one is that again? Which one is it?
So it's the small batch bourbon. So they have a bourbon and they have a whiskey. And so
a rye.
No, they have a rye and they have a mash, and then they've got another one that is just a whiskey blend, and it's a blend that's slightly different. And so I've got that one too, and that one's fine. But this one just the bourbon seems smoother to me, and I don't know what that is. So
yeah, I've seen a lot of them over here recently. I haven't picked one up, but I definitely want to try it. I've found the sour mash. I've seen the rye over here.
We're very similar in the sense that, what we're looking for, and what listeners, what you guys should be thinking about is when you're buying bourbon in general, especially for your daily drinkers, think about price point. 1, 2, think about accessibility. Like how can you find it? And if you can find it, great. Because you can see it with us. Brad's in Germany, I'm in Texas, Garrett's in DC. Well, and that makes that kind of takes us to our next one, and a next good point is, what is your impress the guests? So like, what is it that when people come over, and Brad, I know you said people don't come over, but what if someone did decide to come over? If you had a lady friend come over, or you just had a friend come over,
or hand puppets,
what would you want to, hand puppets? That's right. What would you want to impress them with, Brad? What would you break out to say, hey, this is my bad boy in the case?
I could bring out Eagle Rare, right? Because that's my, that's my great go-to, so would I bring that out? Possibly. But for me, it'd be the Eagle Rare for certain.
No. I think that's respectable, because in the States, it's tough to find. So, people, I went into the store the other day and actually got a bottle of Eagle Rare pretty much at cost, not secondary. And I was surprised because went to another store and they had it for $100. And it's like, so,
oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
think Eagle Rare is a great bourbon. Like it's one of my fucking favorites. You know? And as far as a guest, introducing them to that, I would say is a treat. You know, you can show them that bourbons don't have to be something you're scared of.
Right.
And I mean, there's so many wonderful notes in there. It's like, it's a smile every time I drink it.
It's a smile every time for me too.
And also the price point. You know, if you're not paying secondary, Eagle Rare is about $35 here. When I lived in Austin, it was cheaper. I know secondary is dragging that. You want to hate someone? Daniel Hunt.
Yeah. Oh,
picture the other day, Eagle Rare by the fucking caseload on the bottom shelf at Walmart in Phoenix.
Oh, Jesus! For still $30, probably a pop.
Yeah, and he's debating. He's like, "Should I go? It's kind of far." So you fucking kidding me?
Go and buy a case.
Yes.
Listen, look. I'll pay the shipping on top of it.
So how about you, Garrett? What's your impress the guess?
Simple. I believe I brought it up in the first episode. John J. Bowman.
Yep.
Local Virginia. This is at 100 proof. It's local, so that's why I like a single barrel. It's delicious. I have never found a reason to ever. I've tasted the Abrahams, which you can see in most states, Bowman. But anyway, John J. Bowman, I think it's a great introductory to, hey, welcome to Virginia. This is what they do here. I remember when I was younger, there may be a video somewhere on the internet where I'm talking about the Kentucky Gentleman, which is a different bourbon. Well, I thought was from Bowman. It is not. But when I went to the distillery, it brought back all the memories of college. But yeah, so a little piece of Virginia. It's 100 proof, which I love. I think that when entertaining guests, this is another one I'll put on the rocks. I think for the most part, I'll just take it neat. But if for guests, definitely pour it over the rocks. That's it. Virginia. Nice. Travis, you?
So I actually got this one as a gift. So someone gifted this to me. I hadn't had it before. I've seen a lot on, different bourbon Instagram accounts, TikTok accounts where people are drinking Yellowstone. Well, I haven't actually had the normal bottle of Yellowstone that everyone shows and everything. So someone actually gifted me this 2020 Yellowstone. It's a limited edition. It's a 101 proof. This is what I would break out for guests because I haven't seen this on the shelf. Like I've gone to a lot of liquor stores in Texas when I go bourbon hunting. I've never seen this. And so someone gave me this as a gift. It's super good. It's super complex. It's a limited edition, which I think is really cool. It's definitely something I put over ice. I don't drink this neat. I drank it neat to test it because I always say when you do your first bourbon, anytime you taste something for the very first time, drink it neat. So that way you can understand how it tastes completely. And then if you don't like it, put it over ice. Not to say I didn't like it, but it's a strong, it's a 101 proof. It's stronger. So for me,
put in some Coke.
Yeah. No. No.
No, definitely not.
So I normally stick, for me, I stick to more lower proof bourbons and whiskeys. It's just me though. I like the 80 to below 100, 93, 94. That's kind of my range that I really like the taste, especially neat. And so this was really good, but it was very, very, it was hard to drink neat. It's tough. It's definitely a stronger bourbon, but it's really good. Like, so this is what I break out, especially if I've got people over. This is the one that I break out for people who come over who maybe who've had everything on the shelf, and this is the one I bring and say, hey, try this one.
So the cheap mixer, something that may be near and dear to y'all's hearts, but certainly
not say Buffalo Trace, Brad.
Yeah, I'll start first because I don't think this might be did we lose him? What the fuck?
That's too funny.
The Evan Williams bottle and bond. I think everyone has seen this on their parents' shelf at some point or grandfather's. 100 proof. It's fucking great. I want to say I've never paid more than $20 for it. Always available. It has like a weird cult following, and I get it. It's not for everyone, or people just think it's shit or whatever. But as far as cheap mixers go, that's readily available. I love it. I mean, obviously, when I can find Weller, I use Weller. I showed you guys that I acquired a very old Barton the other day, also a great mixer. But for here it's allocated. Like, you're not finding very old Barton everywhere. So my cheap fucking mixer, 100 proof, Ed Williams, bottles and bond. Probably stole it from your parents when I was a kid.
That's awesome. I want to try that. Like, I actually haven't gone back to that in so long. So now that you say that, I've seen it a few times recently when I was going out looking for different things, and I'm definitely going to pick that up next time. I'm going to try.
Always on the show. Everywhere you go.
It's always there.
Yeah.
So I don't think, to be honest, I don't think you should be throwing like expensive bourbon even when you make an old fashioned. Like, when you make an old fashioned, I think it should be mid-grade. Like, I don't think it needs to be the bottom of the barrel though, because I wouldn't do that with the bottom of the barrel stuff. But what Gary was saying is he doesn't believe that's really bottom of the barrel anymore. Even though its price point is that low, it's a mid-grade bourbon.
Proof, so even when you mix it with anything, it's still going to have a little giddy up in it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and for the next couple bottles, we're not lowering the proof.
Well, and that's your take on that. And I get it. And I get it.
Yeah.
And so when I read this and to me, what is your mixer, right?
All right, what's your mixer? Oh, I should have.
I didn't even know you had a bottle of that.
No, listen. This is. I'm not even going to explain the story. I looked at my cabinet. I said, "What do I?" And so I pulled out. This is a joke bottle. Look how big this is. This is the 1.75 liter Jack Daniels. I mean, this is at least retails for over 100 USD. So it's a massive bottle. But to me, that's just what I grabbed, what I thought about. And that's, I guess, where I'm shooting from is somebody comes over, which no one ever comes over, and they want to mix bourbon with something because they don't like bourbon or they just want to drink, I'm going to give them my freaking Jack Daniels. But I can't talk too much shit about it because Jack Daniels is almost where it started for me. I mean, I try to find a couple pictures on the interwebs of me holding a rocks glass in a club because I know what's in there. It's Jack Daniels.
Why couldn't it be your back porch? Why does it have to be a club?
Well, yeah, that too. I mean, we're talking 20 years ago.
Or Fox Fields.
Yeah, that too. That's what I had. I had Jack Daniels and Coke. That was my mixer. That was my cheap mixer because that's honestly the only thing that I knew at the time.
So my next question would be: do you not consider a cocktail a mixed drink?
A cocktail? Yeah. Well, yes.
You don't want me to make a
Do you make old fashions?
Fuck no. No, I do not.
Okay.
I do not because of, to me, I just don't. That's another conversation for another time probably. But I don't make the mixed drinks with it at all. If somebody wants something, they're getting the giant handle.
And I'll preface it with obviously only this much is missing, so that kind of tells you how often I'm making mixed drinks or cocktails. Versus this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
But either way, Travis, where are you coming in the cheap department? No one picked Weller.
Nope.
Oh, so, of course not.
So here's the thing.
But you went to the Jim Beam family.
Basil Hayden. I talked about it on the last podcast. This is my go-to mixer. This is what I use to mix, as you can tell. And I like making cocktails. So I've tried a bunch of different things. The one I really like recently is the cold brew coffee one. And like I said, I can drink straight all day long, but then I also like making old fashions. So I've tried a bunch of different old fashions, and I got hell one time for making an old fashioned with Blanton's. And I said, you know what? If I can friggin' afford it, guess what? I can make one. If I can afford to buy the bottle, then I can make it with whatever the hell I want to make it.
I do agree with that statement.
I don't know if I can.
I know.
I'm sure there'll be people in the comments right now that are going to be very against everything we've said.
Yeah.
But that's what's special about opinions.
Exactly. Right. And the thing is, it's not that I'm saying that it's not to say, and this is what I think kills me about when people say, oh, you can't make it with you can't make a mixed drink with a really good bourbon. Then what is something great? Like, that's the next thing. So we talked about the cheap mixers. We talked about, things but what is something great? What is something that you feel like that you could stand behind, or you could stand in a line in for an hour or two and get a bottle and feel completely okay with standing there getting that bottle?
I did not go in that direction, so I'll go first.
Okay.
My something great is actually Maker's Mark 101, limited release right now. So I do fluctuate between this and cask strength. This is obviously 101, cask strength around 110. I think that for me, it's a sentiment. So like becoming an adult, being able to go to a bar and order fucking Makers and Coke was like a rite of passage or sign of I've made it for me. So when I think of something great, for the last two bottles, actually, it's more about what it means to me. And Maker's Mark is where it started. It's another weeder on the list, but I guess I realized that about myself. I love some weeded bourbon. Brad is sighing. So
so what is it?
No. I got a whole nother question that I'm just going to interrupt and ask. Are you having trouble getting the 101 there?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the 101, walk in every day. Every day that I've looked for it, it's been there. I want to say it came out last fall. No shortage.
Okay. If you enjoy the high proof stuff, more to you, and I get that. For me, I have to work up to the high proof stuff. It's just not my forte.
Travis, how about you?
So then if we're talking about something great, I'm going to break out.
Goddamn right you are.
EA Taylor.
Motherfucking Taylor.
Mr. Taylor. Small batch, bottle and bond. The reason I brought this out is not just because it's great. It's a great bourbon. It's amazing. What I love about this is the story behind it. Is I actually went to New Orleans, the Sazerac House, as you can see here. It says Sazerac House. So I did the tour of the Sazerac distillery in New Orleans. Awesome. If you haven't been there, go check out the tour when you go there. It's really awesome. Kind of like you with some of the other ones you were saying, like nostalgia reasons for liking them. This to me is just really, really great. I have two bottles of this. This is unopened because I'm holding on to this. The other one, I actually put in a decanter and letting it breathe a little bit because I wanted to see what the flavor profile would be. Instead of keeping it in the bottle like this, I wanted to put it in a decanter and see what that would change the flavor profile. So I'm interested to see, like we were talking about earlier, is getting it down, and I'm going to build an infinity bottle, and this is going to be the base of the infinity bottle. And then I'm going to go from there and put the other ones in there. So I'm excited to see what this is like, but this is the one right here. So this is my something great that I love. 100 proof. Can't go wrong with this.
Brad, would you like to regale us with yours? It better be Gentleman Jack.
I mean, yeah. How do I rebound from showing you a bottle of Jack? I struggle with
Maker's Mark on mine. Come on.
No, I struggled with it all. I mean, but for me, and you guys have already bashed it like what 4 times during the entire podcast.
Just Travis.
No, I think you did. That's this corner. Travis is that corner. Garrett's this corner. Yeah, but I mean, it's just this is my great. I don't know why people either love it or hate it.
Nostalgia, same thing. Same thing that Gary and I were talking about. Same thing I was talking about E.H. Taylor. We have stories behind it. You have the story behind it. You found that before me and Gary even knew what that was at $18 or $19 a bottle. Like, I mean,
the good old days.
The good old days, right? Which is what, only a few years ago, right? I mean, and that's that. I mean, right there. Those are it's Weller. It's anything in that line. I love it. It's great. I still haven't figured out. You mentioned wheat, Scary. Is that why I love it? I don't know.
Wheaters are sweeter,
but I don't like sugar. That's my great. I enjoy all things Weller, all things Buffalo Trace, and I don't make light of the Buffalo Trace fanboy. I just don't. I'm one of a million. But I think the story behind the company, the story behind all of their brands is great, and I latch straight onto it. It's great, and that is my go-to.
Awesome.
Well, then bringing up the rear, we have the special occasion.
I'll make it easy. I'll make it easy. Special occasion right here. You know why?
Okay.
You know why? Because you can't fucking find it. You can't find it. Like, it has nothing to do with this is the best bourbon out there. It doesn't. It really doesn't. It's the fact that when I buy this, or when I drink the entire bottle and finish it, because this is my second one. This is my second one that's on my shelf. I've gone through a couple other bottles, but every time I go through and when I get down to about right here, I start to stress because it's like, I can't find it. It's not that it's the best bourbon out there. Believe me, it's not. It's great bourbon, but it's not the best, but it's my special occasion because of how hard it is to find. And so, I mean, that's where I go with when I talk about special occasion, it's about what you can actually find and what you can get your hands on for me. Now, what about you guys? How are you guys feeling about it? Garrett?
All right, thank you for pointing.
Which is funny because he's down here for me, but it's okay. It's whatever.
Hopping on the horse.
Yep.
I think for a similar and smaller variant reason being that, all right, elephant in the room, right? Everyone has an opinion about fucking Buffalo Trace. Either you love it, you hate it, you pretend you hate it, but we all fucking collect it. We do. We all enjoy the fucking hunting. And then that's why this is my special occasion. Because when I look at this one and I check the letter and I look at the fucking date, I remember where I was, what line. I didn't stand in line for this one, but everything that went along with that day. And like drinking to that memory is why I collect these bottles. This isn't the only one I have, obviously. It's most people don't just have one bottle, like Travis said. But that's why I choose that for a special occasion, because it's not something we drink all the time because it's not that great. There are other better bourbons out there that is readily available. People will tell you that hands down.
You bite your tongue. You bite your tongue.
There are plenty of bourbons. Okay. So I'm not going to say this is the end all be all. If you want to open up some fucking Pappy, open up Pappy, another weeded. So that's why you like it, Brad.
That's why I love Pappy. I've had Pappy out here. I'll be coming home with a few bottles of Pappy that I do find out here.
So let's see it.
Yeah. Well, this should
bring it out.
This should come as no surprise.
Show it.
If this guy says Blanton and this guy says Blanton, this guy's going to say Blanton's too.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, hey,
wait.
Break it out. I want to see it out of the box. Come on.
Come on. This is how this is stored. It's in the bottom of the shelf, the sunlight, all that good stuff.
So are you saying you prefer gold over regular?
Yeah.
Well,
you did the bourbon, you did the tasting of the different Blantons. So what, you also did that too.
Yeah. I mean, so obviously
show the people the gold. A lot of people haven't seen the gold, so show them. I haven't seen the gold.
Yeah, there's the horsey, and if anybody's really wondering, I've got the N.
I'll share as well.
There we go.
See?
Nice.
See, and in Texas, it's a big FU. You can't find it.
Oh, there we go. Oh, listen. I mean, people are coming over. and you want to show something off, this is it right here. I mean, it's Blanton's it is hard to find, and it's delicious.
Awesome. Well, so those are, we went through the 5 for each one of us.
It was good. I'm looking for a 98 Blanton. If you guys see it, if you guys see a 98 Blanton,
let Brad know in the comments.
Holla at your boy.
Holla at your. Yes, I can't say that. I can't say that.
That's awesome. Well, so we'll wrap up tonight. Tonight for Brad, today for me and Garrett. So we'll excited about everything that we've been talking about with you guys. If you like what we're talking about, hit the subscribe button, follow us on Instagram. We have a TikTok. We have, all these different outlets that, we're posting things and we're getting our information out of what we think and how we feel about certain bourbons and whiskeys. And Garrett, take us home with our slogan for the end of the podcast.
This has been Whiskey Happens. Just remember, if you like it neat or on the rocks or in a fucking Coke, whiskey happens.
That's right. All right. Thanks, everyone.